Did Omid Scobie just admit that Meghan Markle is as fake as a counterfeit Chanel bag? Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef, the alternate, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to another dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye, and oh my goodness. Yeah, let's jump into this one, shall we? Because this is from none other than Newsweek. I know, shock horror, right? Title of this article, Why a Meghan Markle Memoir Would Be a Bad Idea. And this was written by none other than the Sussex Squad simp himself, Jack Royston. Yeah, this is unbelievable. So let's get straight to the point. Omid Scobie told Newsweek that Meghan Markle's much more curated take on her image means any memoir she might write would be less interesting than Prince Harry's. Now, opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, the much more curated take, I think it's a polite way of turning around and saying, if she did a memoir, it'd be fake as hell because she wants to project an image rather than who she really is. Oh, the shade! Oh, yes. So, of course, Endgame has reignited a lot of drama in the royal world, particularly the quote-unquote racist royal situation. Now, it continues saying it's precisely this kind of issue that could be cleared up in Meg's memoir. I don't think so, but whatever, right? But before the book was released and the news scandal blew up, Omid Scobie suggested Megxie might not be up to the level of candour required to produce one. So not only is he saying she would do a curated take, i.e., opinion, she'd be fake as hell, but she wouldn't even be truthful enough, i.e., opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. It would be full of lies. Oh my goodness. Now, speaking without reference to the current discussion, apparently, Omid Scobie said, quote, to gain the respect of the reader, you have to be completely human in your portrayal, transparent in your portrayal of yourself. And do you know what? This is actually one of the rare occasions I'm actually going to agree with Omid Scobie, because is Megxie transparent in the portrayal of herself in public? Oh, hell no, we don't think so, right? Is she completely human in her portrayal? Opinion? Hell no, right? So, to me, he is ticking off boxes here of things that I actually agree when it comes to Megxie, right? And then he continues by saying, it has to be candid. It has to be embarrassing in places. It has to be all of these things to be the true portrait of a human being rather than the varnished image of a public figure that wants to be seen in a certain way. Oh, the shade bombs just continue to come, guys. Will she be candid? No. Will she be embarrassing in places with the memoir? No. Because she wants to be seen, opinion, whatever, as like the be-all and end-all, right? The perfect person, the whole, I'm the victim, and I'm awesome, and I'm better than Princess Catherine. Do you know what I mean? So she won't be candid. She won't be embarrassing in places. And she won't be unvarnished. She won't be real. Instead, he says, rather than being the varnished image of a public figure, a varnished image of a public figure insinuates to me that that person's not real. What they're portraying is varnished. It's not unvarnished. It's not real. It's not raw. And that, to me, is how he's describing Megxie right now. She ain't real. She ain't raw. She's as fake as a counterfeit Chanel bag, guys. And he then says and compares it to Hazard's book, saying, and it's why I think his book would always be more interesting than, say, if Meghan wrote a memoir, because I think Meghan has a much more curated take on what her image is and how it should be. Harry has always been a very candid man. Okay, that's the bit that I'm going to disagree with him on. Harry has not been a candid man as far as I'm concerned. A lot of things that he's written in Spare has been debunked. He lost a major court case last week, which if you didn't check that out, I've done a couple of videos on it. Look back in the history there. Yeah, even the judge be like, dude, you are misinformation city right now. Fun times, guys. Fun times ahead. Now, Hazard's book Spare, as we know, was released beginning of this year, became the fastest selling non-fiction book in history, shifting a whopping 1.43 million copies on its first day, including pre-orders. And I mention that because ever since then, the rumours have then ramped up that Megs is going to do her own memoir. Why? Well, opinion whatever, she wants a piece of that. She wants that kind of success as well for herself. She's greedy, guys, but doesn't understand and realise that by doing a memoir, it's most likely going to backfire in her face. And even Omid Scobie is warning her in public. Don't do it. You're going to look and be fake as hell. It's going to be a varnished image rather than unvarnished. People aren't going to buy it. You're going to be crucified. The cheerleader of the Sussex squad himself turning on Megsy. There might be some plates smashing right now in Montecito Royale. What do you think? I hear them in the distance. Now, ever since Spare was released, my goodness, they absolutely got pummeled in Hollywood, and there was a sharp decline in their popularity for both Harry and Megsy. It was only back in October that I actually reported that Megsy in particular was at an all-time low in her popularity points, in the negative. Yeah, you thought she could go any lower? Oh yeah, she has done. She is in the negative. She's in the minus. Just people are just not fond of her. People are waking the hell up. And I'm all for that, right? And since Spare, they've absolutely got hammered in Hollywood. You had, of course, the great, the brilliant, the legendary South Park Worldwide Privacy Tour episode. You had Chris Rock with the Selective Outrage live show on Netflix that completely pummeled him. You had, what was it now? The Spotify executive, Bill Simmons, after they got fired, let go, dropped, whatever you want to call it, turning around and calling them effing grifters. You then had Jeremy Zimmer, CEO head honcho of UTA, United Talent Agency, which, by the way, represents Omid Scobie. Interesting, right? Turning around and saying that Megs is talentless. And then recently with the Family Guy episode, oh my goodness. Yeah, they have absolutely been roasted, absolutely slammed, pilloried, everything that you can think of by Hollywood. Hollywood is just taking the mick out of them now. They're not taken seriously. And you know what? Good. They're a set of clowns as far as I'm concerned. And so some experts, as Newsweek's Jack Royston has continued to say, also suggested that the book Spare and the Netflix mockumentary, Harry and Meghan, had done too little to acknowledge the couple's own past mistakes. And so Omid Scobie then said, quote, "Let me ask you this. How would you write about your wife and your experiences together in the public domain? His perspective is always going to be different, you know." And it still didn't address the past mistakes. It still didn't address the part that they played in terms of their negative relationship with the royal family. It's all been royal family, evil. Hazard and Megsy, good. It's been entirely, absolutely binary like that. And has never once, as far as I know and I'm aware, taken responsibility for the evil shiz that he and Megsy have done. So this response here from Omid Scobie doesn't answer what Jack Royston says here, which is they've done too little to acknowledge their own past mistakes. Now, Omid Scobie continues to say he's writing about someone that he wanted to kind of defend and protect to the death. And so his descriptions of those experiences are always going to come from that very place. I think anyone picking up Spare and expecting it to be the kind of balanced, unbiased take on this should find a good piece of journalism, because that's not what you get in a memoir. And let's put it this way. You want to find a good piece of journalism, avoid Omid Scobie by all costs. Because you're not going to get it there. Endgame, as far as I'm concerned, has ended Omid Scobie at this point. He then concludes saying, it just wasn't a surprise to me. It's like when they sat down for Oprah, we were never going to hear anyone else's side of the story other than their own. And it's the same with Spare. You say that, but at the end of the day, they have continuously attacked the royal family, rather than reflecting on their own mistakes as to how they contributed to the situation negatively. So, how are they not taking responsibility? Why are they not taking responsibility? It's insane to try and dance around that as far as I'm concerned. And for all their posturing, whether they're insinuating or calling the royal family racist or, unconsciously biased, I'll point to you the biggest one of all in modern times. Who's the one that dressed up as the World War II bad guy? Who's the one that was partying with others that were dressed as the K to the K to the K, YouTube humour reviewer, and literally someone in blackface? Who's the one that's been caught on tape calling someone of a Pakistani heritage a racial slur? I'll tell you something. It wasn't King Charles. It wasn't Princess Catherine. It wasn't Prince Edward. It wasn't Duchess Sophie. It wasn't Prince William. No. I'll give you a hint. Begins with H, ends with Y. Yeah. Look in the mirrors, morons. But let's go full circle here, because, oh my goodness, Omid Scobie, in this interview, as far as I'm concerned, has just called out Megxie, calling her fake. Saying, look, you've got to be transparent in your portrayal of yourself. You've got to be candid, embarrassing in places, rather than the varnished image of a public figure. And she has much more of a curated take on what her image is and how it should be. All of that points to one thing. Opinion: Omid Scobie is calling Megxie publicly fake as a counterfeit Chanel bag. Oh my goodness, have the tables turned right now. With that being said, if you appreciated this video and you want more, and believe me, of course there's going to be more, then make sure you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe. I'll be honest with you, help us get to 100k so we can get that silver play button right there. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's. Also as well, if you've got some very strong opinions about what I've just gone through, and I bet you do, then make sure you send me a super thanks. It's just below this video right here. We can have a conversation about this because it does guarantee a response from me. And until the next time, you guys, laters.